the field, but we're breaking it all down this morning. Let's go out to our sister station, Fox 13 in Tampa. That's where we find Aaron Mesmer there right now. And Aaron, have you guys gotten any sleep over this last week?
Well, have I gotten sleep? The answer is yeah. I didn't. I was fortunate enough to be able to watch the game as a fan, but I can tell you that I was out this morning at about 8:30, and roads were pretty clear. It's like everybody was up really late last night or something like that, celebrating a Bucs win. And I'll tell you what, there were tens of thousands of people who poured out of that stadium into the social areas of Tampa, Ybor City, downtown Tampa, the South Howard area, if people are familiar with this part of Florida, to celebrate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And what a win it was. I mean, if you had gone into this game and said that the Buccaneers defense would hold Patrick Mahomes to not throwing a single touchdown, I think you'd have called them crazy, but that's exactly what happened. And I'll tell you what, this city is really celebrating, and this is just a pause today in that celebration, because there is going to be, of course, some kind of parade. And you know what? Tampa's used to it at this point over the last year, because they had to do this during the Tampa Bay Lightning's run to the Stanley Cup. And we had a boat parade, really, actually, right over here in the bay here behind me. We're at the Tampa Convention Center here, and that's an option, according to Tampa Mayor Jane Castor. She just spoke this morning about a half an hour ago, and she said a boat parade is one option. They're looking at everything right now. All options are on the table, and number one is being able to celebrate, and of course doing it safely.
Yeah, and for Tampa, that's a good problem to have, right? To figure out, we got to do another celebration. We got to figure out a way to do it, of course, in this pandemic. But Aaron, can you also just talk about what was the vibe like going into this Super Bowl the week of? I mean, obviously, this has been a totally different situation because of this pandemic. But what was it like leading up to this big game?
I think there was a lot of excitement, obviously, but there was also a lot of focus, of course, on doing this safely. And what you saw last night, I'm sure we've been running reports on this for the last several weeks, is that a third of the crowd in that stadium were healthcare workers who have been vaccinated. So in all likelihood, that was the safest spot in Tampa to watch the game, was inside that stadium, because a third of those people have already been vaccinated for COVID-19, and the rest of them are all spaced out. So this planning, it started just a couple of years ago. I think 2017 is where the announcement came in that Tampa would get the Super Bowl. So they started right then. And then, of course, 2020 blew up the whole planning process here. And they had to plan again now with this pandemic, and did the very best that they could. There's an expanded mask ordinance in Tampa. Outside of those spontaneous celebrations last night, most people, according to Mayor Castor, were abiding by the new mask ordinance, which went to the social areas, entertainment areas of Tampa Bay. So, like I said, you had a lot of excitement, of course, and that's going to continue into this week. But I think the majority of people really know that you can't let your guard down. This is not the time to be complacent. I just talked with a doctor half an hour ago, right after the mayor's press conference, and he said, we have until mid-June. Let's not let our guard down now, because even with such an exciting thing as a Super Bowl victory.
Yeah, definitely something to really consider, because you want to have some sort of normalcy. You want to have some moment where for about 3 to 4 hours you can forget everything that is happening on the outside world, but you can't forget about it because it's actually happening. It's still happening, and that's definitely what people have to consider there as well. And then, Aaron, so talk a little bit more about you guys get Brady this year, and then, you just win it right away. I mean, no problem, right?
I mean, is there any other way that this could happen with Tom Brady? Listen, I have to be honest here. I grew up as a Jets fan, and it's been a difficult transition to now rooting for Tom Brady here in Tampa Bay. But I mean, the guy is a class act. He's the greatest of all time. You can't deny that. And I mean, it's funny. I said to my wife last night, I'm watching the game, and after I'm like, he doesn't even get fazed by the Super Bowl, by the pressure of these kinds of games. It's just what he does now. So, I mean, to say that we expected a Super Bowl here in Tampa Bay, I think would be maybe an exaggeration. But, to say we're surprised that we're there, I think anybody who has Tom Brady on the team can't be that surprised because of how great this guy is, even at 43 years old.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, he just really put on a clinic there once again. I mean, that's just something that he does. Do we know, Aaron, really quickly before we go, do we know anything about that guy that ran on the field, whatever happened to them? Because, boy, he looked like he had some skills at running. Maybe Kansas City's looking at him.
Yeah, we haven't heard much about him. We do know that there weren't any arrests outside of the stadium, but I'm pretty sure he didn't get to watch the rest of the game like the rest of the crowd did. Although I will say that I had some friends from back home say that is as Florida moment as you can get, the way he ran out onto the field dressed the way he was. But yeah, I don't think he got to celebrate the Bucs win with everyone else.
No, definitely not. And then Aaron Mesmer, thanks so much there. Fox 13 breaking it all down for us as they continue to celebrate and plan for even more in the coming days there. Aaron, thank you so much for bringing us the very latest. We appreciate it. And more news now will continue right after this. We're going to take another quick 2-minute break. When we come back, we're going out live to the White House press briefing. That's coming up next here on News Now from Fox.